正解
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 198, Wives and Concubines. On the same night when Zi Jingxing returned, Shen Miao told Zi Jingxing about the matter of the invitation. Zi Jingxing told Shen Miao if she did not want to go, it was alright to reject it. Even though the Lu and Yi families were arrogant, they currently dared not tear away all pretenses with the residence of Prince Ruai. In other words, Shen Miao had the power to reject. It was just that even it was so, Shen Miao did not want to refuse. Knowing oneself and knowing one's enemy would lead one to be victorious in every battle. Currently she had no knowledge of the different fractions in Great Liang, and one could take advantage of this opportunity to understand it better. Not mentioning the Yi family, just what kind of thoughts the Lu family had towards her can be seen in this time. Naturally Zi Jingxing would not stop Shen Miao's decision. After the husband and wife discussed about it, Shen Miao instructed others to reply to the invitation that she would be there punctually. 2 days later, it was the day of the bright summer banquet. Shen Miao woke up very early, and when she was eating breakfast, Zi Jingxing was already not in the residence. It seemed that after returning to Great Liang, he was very busy every day and would leave early in the day and only return late at night. Shen Miao felt that this imperial city did not seem to be as calm as it seemed on the surface. Jing's combed Shen Miao hair for her. After she came to the residence of Prince Ruai of first rank, due to convenience, she still used her own personal maids. Speaking of which, there were very few female servants in the entire prince residence. Other than the cook and a few momo, it was an entire scenery of males. Hearing from Tang Shu, after Zi Jingxing was conferred a prince of first rank 2 years ago when he returned to Great Liang, he would catch a few spies that were dressed as maids. Most likely there were more matters with females, and it was easy to let some unscrupulous people to exploit. Afterwards, there was no longer any more females in the entire prince residence. However, it was because of this reason the prince residence was like a copper wall. After so long, the people outside hated it, but they were also helpless as they are unable to find any ways around. Gu Yu said, "It is Furen's first time participating a banquet in Longyi, thus one must dress up beautifully. When others see Furen as such, they would not say more, and Furen will also give our Mingqi some face." Zi Jingxing was considered as prestigious in Longyi. When Jings and Gu Yu went out to buy things, they heard outsiders talking about it that it was Shen Miao's past life blessing to be able to marry to Prince Ruai of first rank in this lifetime. Jings and Gu Yu listened to it till their heart felt not convinced. What was not good about their family's young lady? Even in Ding capital in Mingqi, she was one of the higher-ranking young lady. Not mentioning intelligence, she has a kind character and that temperament, she would not even give in to a princess. So what was all these climbing up? But one mouth would not be able to beat everyone else. It was better to use facts to slap another's face. Shen Miao thought that this time Shen Miao should surprise everyone so that those people would no longer speak of all these stuff. What is there for to mind this? Shen Miao laughed. They only said it to make their hearts feel comfortable, but it will not affect us. Furen, Gu Yu did not say wrongly. Jings was helping Shen Miao chose the hairpins in the jewelry chest as she said, one must not be lower than her in this opinion. Just as she was speaking, she saw Tang Shu knocking the door from outside. Shen Miao signaled her to come in and saw that a young lady was following behind Tang Shu. She seemed to look even younger than Shen Miao and was slightly chubbier, most likely because of her young age, but she had a very pleasing appearance and a pair of smiling eyes. Her lips were stretched wide and her complexion was fair and tender. In a moment, Shen Miao thought of Su Ming Lang, but it was a young girl. Today Furen is going to bright summer banquet. Tang Shu smiled. Young master had instructed to find someone familiar to give pointers to Furen, thus this old servant has transferred young lady Ba Zhao over. Furen can bring Ba Zhao along as a maid, and if one encounters unfamiliar people, young lady Ba Zhao would explain it to you. Shen Miao smiled. Tang Shu, thank you. Tang Shu waved his hands and said continuously that he dare not accept before speaking with smiles. One had thought that Furen would not accept the invitation but did not expect that Furen would accept it. Furen is really courageous that this old servant admires. When ordinary people reached an unfamiliar location, there would always be some timidity in one's heart. Not to mention a young lady of an official family, even if one was more courageous, after one's arrival in a totally unfamiliar environment to go to a place where everyone was a stranger and knowing that it was a place of ill intention, this would require a lot of courage. It is only to drink some tea and chat. Shin Miao said lightly. Where would courage be used at? Tang Shu nodded his head. Exactly. His gaze towards Shen Miao was much more with satisfaction and he withdrew after giving out a few more instructions. Shen Miao looked at this Ba Zhao. Ba Zhao stood properly and smiled as she looked at her. This kind of look was a bit silly but made one's heart felt exceptionally adorable. Today's Shen Miao trip to the Bright Summer Banquet would be difficult if there was no one guiding and if there was someone at the side explaining. One could save a lot of effort. Shin Miao smiled gently at Zi Jingxing's thoughtful consideration when she thought of something suddenly. Shin Miao looked at Ba Zhao and asked, "Isn't there no female maids in the prince residence?" Other than the female cook and a few momo, there were only male servants and guards in the prince residence and there were no maids at all. Thus Jing's, Guyu and the few that Shen Miao brought over became the few fragrances in the prince residence. Ba Zhao smiled. This servant is not a maid in the prince residence. This servant is Mo Yu Army's people that was specially transferred over to accompany Furen. Mo Yu Army? Shin Miao was startled. She had heard Zi Jingxing vaguely mentioned a few words. When in Mingqi, this army would help Zi Jingxing on many matters and seemed to be Zi Jingxing's privately raised army that was extremely powerful. However, for Zi Jingxing to dare to take action that open-boardedly, it seemed that Emperor Yongle knew about the matter. She asked, "Do you know martial arts?" "This servant knows how to kill people." Ba Zhao answered with smiles. Jings and Guyu both sucked in a breath of cold air when they heard it, as they could not believe that this smiling female who looked like Su Minglang would actually have a good hand in killing people. Shin Miao was however satisfied. She thought that Zi Jingxing was indeed evil to send Ba Zhao to her for the Bright Summer Banquet, but this also meant that at least on the area of martial arts, she would not be at a disadvantage. Shin Miao said, "Since it is so, then you will come together with me." Jings will remain in the residence and sort out the warehouse with Beilu, Xuanzhong and the few people. Guyu, you and Ba Zhao will set off with me. Jings had almost finished tidying up but was only told that she would not be going, so her heart felt somewhat grievance and was not happy with Ba Zhao, but she feared that Ba Zhao would be angry and kill her in anger. So she unwillingly instructed Ba Zhao to take great care of Shen Miao before leaving. When everything was ready, Shen Miao then got onto the horse carriage and headed towards the location where the Bright Summer Banquet was held, the Lu residences. This time Shen Miao did not bring Mo King along, and the guards that she brought along were all people from the residence of Prince Ruai. Naturally she had her considerations, as Mo King was after all a person from Mingqi, but bringing the people from the residence of Prince Ruai would make others feel some restraint and would not take action easily and only shoot with their mouths. Moreover, Shen Miao was most fearless with sparring others with words. The difference between Ding capital and Longyi was that Great Liang's land was towards the east and would be nearer to the sun. Thus even during winter, it would not be as cold as Ding capital, much less summer. Currently it was the 5th month, and if one was in Ding capital, it would still be spring, but in Great Liang, it was already the beginning of summer and there was a slight heat. As the horse carriage journeyed, Shen Miao and Guyu parted the curtains with a gap and looked out. Seeing the busy streets of Longyi and liveliness made one's heart feel moved. No wonder those citizens of those defeated countries would open their gates to welcome. If one would bring good days to people of under heavens, the commoners would find that the name of the country was a small matter. Emperor Yongle was one who had the talent to rule the world. After almost an hour of journey, the horse carriage finally stopped. Ba Zhao lifted the curtains and said, "Furen, One have arrived at the Lu residences. Gu Yu and Ba Zhao supported Shen Miao down the horse carriage and saw that there were a number of carriages that were parked at the entrance of Lu residence, but there was not a single person at the gate who was welcoming. Gu Yu was stunned. Why is there no one from this family not out to welcome? Could it be that one had come to the wrong place? Even though it was said that it was the wrong place, but it did not look wrong, as the doors of the Lu residences were not closed, as if it was opened for her. Shen Miao swept a glance at the door and had an inkling in her heart. She asked Gu Yu, what time was it indicated in the invitation of the Bright Summer Banquet? Gu Yu quickly took out the invitation from her sleeves and opened it up. It is CC, modern timing, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. Currently it is not even CC yet. One thinks that only our invitation is as such. Shen Miao said lightly. Gu Yu said, Furen, what is the meaning of it? There are horse carriages in front of the doors, so obviously guests had arrived, but even if one came in advance, there would not be that many. There are no one at the gates to welcoming, but the doors were opened for us, so it meant that they knew we will definitely come. If I did not guess incorrectly, the other's invitation would have indicated the time as Chenxi, modern timing, 7 a.m., 9 a.m., but our invitation is at Cixi. This is deliberately letting us come late. After finishing, her heart smiled. It seemed that no matter if one was in Mingqi or Great Liang, these noblewomen would always use those tricks. Ba Zhao was in smiles, but Gu Yu suddenly understood and said with indignation, what kind of benefits does she have to make us of, young lady? This is just being too much. Benefits? Shen Miao's voice turned slightly cold. There are a lot of benefits. Entering without anyone welcoming, it is rude, and they would say the Shen family of Mingqi is arrogant. Not entering means disrespectful, as it is unreasonable to accept the invitation yet leave halfway. The reasons are all with them, and when one was caught, one would have to lower one's head from the beginning. The more it head down, the more one would be laughed at. Confronting and quarreling with others was an art. From the beginning, one's mistakes could not be caught by others, else one's head would be lower than others. She and Mai Furen had been fighting for so many years, but she understood this point. Ba Zhao asked, does Furen still want to enter? Enter. Shen Miao picked up her skirt and was about to head inside. But Furen? Gu Yu asked. One's mistake will be mentioned upon going in, and it is also wrong if one do not enter. Since entering and retreating are both wrong, why would one still enter? Then one will need to let others commit bigger mistakes than you. Shen Miao smiled gently. Like that, no one would notice of your mistakes. In the Lu residence, at this moment the atmosphere in the hall was very harmonious. As the well-known military commander in Longyi, the Lu family's status is extremely high. Thus the residence was large and it was renovated luxuriously. Today's Bright Summer Banquet was personally handled by Lu Furen, thus the compliments kept flowing in without stopping. Lu Furen was in her early 40s and her prime was past. Most likely she was a beauty when she was younger, but after maturing, she was so thin that she lost some dignity appearance. Despite this, she still wore gorgeously, as if this would be able to add a little brilliance onto her. It was just that when a female, with age, still wore inappropriately bright clothes, not only it would not let her look better, it would expose one's shortcoming of age. Lu Furen is truly fortunate. A round-faced Furen said with a smile. Her ladyship consort Jing gained His Majesty's favor in the palace, and her ladyship consort Jing is still this filial to you. This bright summer banquet His Majesty specially sent over gifts, which is enough to see the weight of her ladyship consort Jing in His Majesty's heart. Lu Furen was pleased in her heart but still had an modest expression on her face. It is all the Emperor's generosity and pity to consort Jing that made our entire family enjoy the light. What kind of words Furen is saying? Another short-statured Furen smiled. Consort Jing gained favored, and the second young lady of the residence had married to a provincial military governor, and one heard that recently she was even pregnant with twins. One have to also let us be blessed with a little of such fortune. Lu Furen shook her head and said with an expression of a headache, is there not third son and fourth daughter? These two truly make my head ache. The round-faced Furen spoke with exaggeration. Furen, A headache is needed for these. Third gentleman is a talented person that has martial arts skills that is outstanding at such a young age. One do not know which family's young lady would have the fortune to marry him. As for fourth young lady, needless to say, she is a fairy-like character. She is inept with the four scholarly arts, so what matter need one worry with? Furen has praised. Lu Furen shook her head and smiled bitterly. Forget about third son, since it is understandable for men to gain more experience for a few years, but fourth daughter's marriage cannot be dragged on. I am really having a headache about it. Mother, you are still talking about my bad points in front of other Furens. A delicate female voice rang out. Everyone turned around and saw that a young female appeared in the main hall. This young female was about 16 and 17. Wearing a light purple butterfly-patterned and cloud and bird-embroidered robe. From a closer look, it was butterfly-shaped pears. This female lady had a delicate and beautiful appearance, and most likely with the pampering, there was a natural romantic deposition of a wealthy young lady. With the surrounding pearls and jewelry, she was a sensational radiance, as if she was a butterfly fairy in spring. She was indeed very eye-catching. This was the fourth young lady of the Lu family. The fourth younger sister of consort Jing, Luan'er. Lu Furen stroked her head dotingly and said, "How would I dare to sideline our young lady Wan'er?" Luan'er snorted and did not speak anymore. There were still other young ladies of official family in the hall, but when Luan'er stood in the hall, comparing to her, they all looked awkward. Luan'er had an arrogant expression and looked around. Is that Shen family's young lady of Mingqi coming or not? The volume of her voice was not low at all, and all the Furens and young ladies in the hall heard it, and in a moment all started whispering. Luan'er referred Shen Miao as Shen family's young lady of Mingqi and refused to call her Ruai Wangpei. This itself had said many things clearly. Thinking of that, it would be as such as everyone had said at the beginning, that the fourth young lady of the Lu family would be marrying into the residence of Prince Ruai of first rank to be the prince consort of first rank. Luan'er was satisfied with Prince Ruai too, but who knew that halfway Shen Miao would appear? The people of the Lu family were not happy, and Luan'er was even more irreconcilable. The purpose of today's bright summer banquet was not as it seemed. However, most of these Furen were here to see the buzz and perhaps want to flatter Luan'er. That Shen family's young lady was currently glamorous but did not have any roots or foundation in Longyi, so who would know how far she could drift? Prince Ruai of first rank is at his prime age, so how would he place that much time and feeling on just one female? All in all, that young lady of the Shen family did not seem to have a good ending. Lu Furen smiled. Perhaps one had experienced a delaying matter on the road. Really such great airs? Luan'er said unhappily. Other Furens and young ladies are all punctual, but only she alone is late. Is the rules and regulation in Mingqi all dead? Just as she was speaking, one saw a round-faced young lady suddenly appearing outside. Everyone did not know when did she entered. That young lady smiled. May one ask if this is the bright summer banquet? Lu Furen was startled and smiled. It is. Are you Ruai Wangpei? This servant is not. That smiling young lady said, Wangpei is here. As she was speaking, she turned back and supported a young lady to walk over. One did not know if it was because that round face made, or was it that everyone had imagined Ruai Wangpei was not adequately worthy enough. In short, when that young lady walked in, everyone was stunned. She wore a lotus green phoenix robe with butterflies surrounding hundreds of flowers with a translucent purple-white magnolia gauze. One could not say that it was gorgeous, but it was definitely not simple. The young ladies of Longyi's official families loved to eat and dress well, but when they saw her overall complementing clothes, they felt that it was very tasteful. There was only an inlaid phoenix-shaped gemstone on one's head, and despite the single hairpin, it made one look even nobler. This young lady had eyebrows like a new moon with clear apricot-shaped eyes, a small and straight nose with a rosy lips that slightly smiled. She looked like a very gentle person, but that slightly lifted chin and straightened back as she walked over made one felt a little tremble as she took every step. Involuntarily, one could not help but look up with a gaze, as if she was an unattainable nobility. Speaking strangely of it, Today this Rui Wangpei of first rank and the fourth Lu young lady were wearing purple robles. The purple that fourth Lu young lady was wearing was light in color and Rui Wangpei's purple was darker. Young ladies who wear light purple would look lively and gentle, whereas wearing darker purple would look mature and stiff. However, Shen Miao's entire appearance of purple seemed to be tailor-made for her, as there was a luxurious style to it that could suppress the entire field. In contrast, fourth Lu young lady looked like an actress who was singing in a theater, somewhat unable to be seen in public. Luan was one who paid great attention to this on normal days and was accustomed to being the center of the limelight, thus she did not expect that others would snatch her limelight today. In particular, this was the person who robbed her position of Rui Wangpei, Shen Miao. Lu Furan's eyes flashed and she smiled. Wangpei of first rank finally arrived. The Furans have been waiting for you. Shen Miao smiled gently and said, not too fast or slow. One did not think that Furans would be so early. The invitation indicated Sishi, modern timing, 9 to 11 a.m. I mentioned it to His Highness about it and His Highness even mentioned to leave early and avoid the crowd. One had not thought that one would still be late and it is my fault. One have to blame His Highness for not reminding me to leave even earlier. One should leave at Chenshai, modern timing, 7 to 9 a.m. Lu Furan's heart jumped as she did not expect that Shen Miao would speak of it so unobtrusively. Sure enough, when the words were spoken, the Furans around looked at her differently. Shen Miao was after all an outsider and those Furans would be in favor of the Lu family as compared to Shen Miao, but it was a joke to others' eyes when one used this kind of ridiculous child play. Lu Furan was also somewhat regretful, as she, originally, wanted show a initial show of strength, but there was no need to play tricks on the invitation, but Luan was unable to keep it in and she had insisted on it to be done like that. Now when Shen Miao's words enter others' ears, these Furans' invitation did not indicate Sishi, modern timing, 9 to 11 a.m., so they understood. One would always feel somewhat happy when watching the Lu family. If Shen Miao informed Prince Rui of this matter when she returned, with Prince Rui such an intelligent person, how would he not understand when he heard it? If he was dissatisfied with the Lu family on this matter, then Lu Furan felt that this was a bad move. However, Luan was unable to see Shen Miao doing well and sized Shen Miao up. Why did Rui Wangpei not inform others and just enter? If one do not know, then others would say that we have slighted another. It was indeed rude to enter the residence without having another to report. Shen Miao looked at Luan and laughed. This is exactly what I wanted to say. If there is not enough manpower in one's distinguished residence, there is no need to be that constrained. Such a big residence but without any guards on duty is indeed somewhat dangerous. She smiled warmly. I will instruct the guards of the prince residence of first rank to guard one's distinguished residence so that there would not be strange people entering it, else it would not be good. When Luan and Lu Furan heard it, they almost wanted to vomit blood. What was going on? One initially wanted to say that Shen Miao was rude, as naturally the entrance of Lu residence was deliberately not guarded. However, from Shen Miao's words, it had become that it was their Lu residence that was so poor that they were unable to afford servants. By letting the guards of the prince residence of first rank guard their main doors, what would the commoners think when they pass by? Shen Miao said kindly, Furan do not need to thank me. In the future, if there is any need, it is alright to let His Highness send some manpower over to the residence. Send some manpower over? Who know if those people who were sent over were spies? The residents of Prince Rui dared to gift, but they dared not accept. The surrounding Furan also understood clearly that this Rui Wangpei of first rank was not a soft persimmon that could be easily grasped. Originally, the Lu family's arrangement was to destroy Shen Miao's prestige so that Shen Miao would make a mistake. After she make a mistake, after saying some ambiguous things, it would be enough to make this Rui Wangpei's heart feel a little bottomless. Who knew that one would not only fall behind but also checkmate the Lu family? Lu Furan barely forced a smile out. May Wang Pei of first rank, please sit down. However, she had arranged Shen Miao an unobtrusive position. Shen Miao declined to comment. Her presence today was not to fight for anything and also not to quarrel. It was only to show one's attitude and also take the opportunity to see some things clearly. Ba Zhao secretly bent down to speak to Shen Miao. That round-faced Furen is the Furen of emissary Shu Furen, and is on good relationship with the Lu family. The short-statured Furen is Furen of the Minister of Revenue, Wei Furen, and are in-laws with the Yi family and likewise have a good relationship with the Lu family. At the utmost left side, the yellow-clad Furen. Her husband is the current dynasty's left minister. You are also familiar with her youngest son, which is young Master Ji Yushu's mother? Shen Miao looked towards that Ji Furen. Ji Furen had a dignified appearance and seemed to have a very different temperament with Ji Yushu. Shen Miao was pondering about it. These Furens were wealthy and respectable people. No wonder one said that the Fu family's power in Longyi was not small. Consort Jing was so arrogant that she did not take the Empress into consideration, and it was because there was a big tree behind her back and shade over her head. Even these aristocratic families had to give them face, thus it was clear that the Lu family has a very wide-spreading relationships. If Emperor Yongle and Xi Jingxing want to completely suppress the Lu family, it was indeed not an easy task. The interest of the Lu family would involve many other officials' families, and if the Lu family fell, there would be many aristocratic families that would also fall. Even if it was for one's survival, these aristocratic families would not watch as the Lu family went down. Just as she was thinking, someone walked over to her side and sat down. Ba Zhao immediately stood up straight and no longer explained matters to Shen Miao. Shen Miao turned around, and that delicately beautiful and proud fourth Lu young lady had sat by her side. Luan said, "Ruai Wang Pei of first rank, may one take the liberty to ask you a question?" Shen Miao said, "Please speak." "How long have you known Prince Ruai of first rank?" Luaner asked. Shen Miao was laughing in her heart as she roughly knew what this Luaner was here for. Speaking of which, Xi Jingxing was in Mingqi during his youth, and other than Emperor Yongle and Xi Jingxing knew of it. The rest of the people should not be aware of it. Great Liang people only knew that Xi Jingxing had followed his master and traveled round the land, and their whereabouts were very mysterious. Then her knowing Xi Jingxing should be from when she returned to Ding capital from Zhaochun city from the tribute banquet. Calculating from that, it was less than a year. So she said, "Less than a year." Hearing this, Luaner laughed, and her smile was somewhat prideful and a little contemptuous. Luaner said, "So it is less than a year." As such, one thinks that Ruai Wang Pei would not know much of Prince Ruai of first rank. Shen Miao smiled. It seemed that fourth young lady know His Highness very well. "You mustn't mind," Luaner said. "I know your Shen family's position in Mingqi, but my Lu family in Longyi is in a better position than your Shen family in Ding capital. Prince Ruai of first rank is a very good person that in Great Liang. Almost every single young lady dreams of marrying into the residence of Prince Ruai. However, those ordinary families are not worthy of him." Luaner looked at Shen Miao. "Ruai Wang Pei, Prince Ruai is a very ambitious person. From when he returned to Longyi, he had accomplished a number of big issues in court. This kind of person would not be constrained by romance and relationship. What can you help him with?" "Naturally now it would still be sweet, but in the future, when you are no longer of use to him in the future, he would be able to give up and abandon you." Shen Miao was surprised in her heart. Originally she had thought that Luaner was a naive and ignorant arrogant lady, but after hearing her words, she felt that this Luaner was able to see clearly the situation and even able to pinpoint the advantages of the relationship out. "So?" Shen Miao asked. "His Majesty has the intention to let me be Prince Ruai of first rank's Pingqi, equal wife, but Prince Ruai cannot have two Ruai Wang Pei." Luaner said as if she was bestowing, "So you be the concubine and I will be the wife."